And guys, I think I have said it before and I have mentioned it before, and I think all my closest friends and all my family member knows that I didn't want to be a mother when I was in my 20s. After I met my husband, mid-20s, maybe 26, I was just in love, and I was so amazingly in love with him. The motherhood desire sparks in me, and I will tell you, being a mother is the best job, the best duty, the best task, and the best blessing God has given to me. I love being a mother, and I think that's the best job I can do. Even though I wear a lot of hats, and mommy does a lot of stuff, I think being a mother is my best decision. Hi guys, I'm here. I'm going to work on my sourdough, and I'm gonna feed Esperanza, but the discard, I'm gonna use it for pancakes this morning. So let's do some pancakes. I'm gonna teach you how I do thick and fluffy, yummylicious sourdough started discard pancakes. Wait for it. Made pancakes with my sourdough discarder, which is in here. 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, and the magic will start in a minute. See you in the other side. Here is the 1 cup of sourdough discard, or about of it. See some of the ingredients. Let's look at some of the ingredients, and the magic will start in a minute. Yum, yum, yum. Pancakes made at home with some sourdough discard. Here is the recipe I'm following, and that's it. Half teaspoon, only half. The recipe asks for 2 tablespoons of sugar, and I'm going to substitute it by local honey. That will be it's about 2 tablespoons, which I'm gonna eyeball it. Look at how yumminess. Ooh, yum. These are all my dried ingredients. This is a baking soda and baking powder, salt. Obviously, the honey is not dry, obviously, because I use honey, and my sourdough. And then I have some of my liquids is the sourdough started, and egg. I have some of my dried ingredients is all-purpose flour, baking soda, baking powder, salt, and obviously as a dry was the sugar, caster sugar, but I'm using honey. And some of the dries are milk, sourdough started, and 2 eggs. So let's mix everything. Ask for 3 tablespoons of melted unsalted butter or oil. I'm gonna use olive oil. Extra olive oil. He's asking for 3 tablespoons of olive oil. So let's do that. 1, 2, 3 o 3 cucharadas de aceite de oliva. 3 tablespoons of olive oil. For my wet, I have the milk, and I'm gonna whisk and mix my 2 eggs. For the dry, let's move stuff around. Sorry, guys. So I got my 1.5 cup of all-purpose flour. Here I have my baking powder and baking soda, which is 2 teaspoons of baking powder and 1 teaspoon of baking soda. My salt, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, fine sea salt. Well, this one is the pink Himalayan, all mix, all the dry. I'm not gonna add my honey. I'm gonna incorporate it with the wet. I'm gonna follow the wet to wet and dry to dry. Just incorporate it. Good. Let's mix all my wet. I'm gonna move it. Here we only have the milk. In this case, I use almond milk, and I have my 2 eggs. Okay, now I'm gonna do, this is the 3 teaspoon of olive oil. It calls for butter or olive oil, or oil. I just use olive oil. It's my favorite. Okay, and obviously I have my honey, so I will work in the honey in a minute. And because my sourdough starter discard is considered wet, I'm gonna mix it in there in a minute. Honey, I'm gonna add my honey into my wet ingredient, which is milk and eggs. I'm gonna mix it. Let's incorporate my honey, which is very thick, in my wet ingredients. Mix, mix, mix. I can use a whisk, but it gets messier. I don't like it, so I take patience to do it with a little rubber spatula. Now it's a lot better, more homogeneous, more mixed correctly. Now let's do our sourdough started discard. There you go. Ooh, look at that. Smells delicious. Obviously smell like alcohol, sour beer. Mix, mix, mix. Guys, the sunshine is coming through the window because it's sunny. Winter mornings are sunny here in Kentucky sometime. Okay, so mixing. We're gonna mix it with the dry pretty soon. We're almost done, guys. For a thin and fluffy pancake, you will mix everything at once, but I don't like it. I like thick and fluffy, so I do add those wet and dry separately with a lot of patience. So I like thick and fluffy. That's what my kids like too. Okay, ready? I am. Let's marry the wet and dry ingredients. They are beautiful. Okay, now let's mix. Let's mix all the ingredients for my thick and fluffy pancakes. No dry crumbs around. That's the goal. Thick. It's gonna be fluffy. My secret ingredient will be Mexican vanilla blend and a little bit of almond. Please don't judge my spices pantry. This is a busy mom pantry. Okay, almond and Mexican vanilla blend. Just a tip, because this is very powerful. This is an extract, vanilla extract. Oh, sorry, almond extract. Apologies. This is yummy. Mention this is optional, guys. You don't have to have vanilla or almond extract in your pancake, but my kids love it, so there we have it. Gently mix. We don't want to over mix this mixture, our pancake mixture. And we're gonna start baking, or we can start frying. You can do either one. I'll fry them. Guys, I just try to go by my ingredients that I normally use and always work for me. I don't try the mixture because it has eggs, and you know, you need to be very careful when you're cooking. Don't eat raw eggs. Well, in my opinion, that's my safety precaution just for you. So I'm gonna start frying these beautiful thick and fluffy pancakes, and I'll show you a sample. Guys, these are my sourdough started that I discarded some material for me to feed them. Obviously, I used this sourdough started discarded for my pancake this morning. They're resting and down here waiting for it to grow. This is preparing for my Christmas baking in a week and a half from now. Guys, once you start working and learning and failing, baking and doing bread making with your sourdough starter is when you start learning how to manage your own baking. If you don't fail and you don't fail fast, you will never learn. So let's fail fast, let's fail cheap. So let's try new recipes. Got some raspberries for our pancakes this morning. I got some strawberries too, but these are favorite for the kids. It's gonna tell you what I use to fry my pancakes. I use pure Irish butter, natural softer. It's very yummy. It's milk from Irish grass-fed cows, guys, and it has an amazing taste. It tastes silky and creamy. It's a glow of healthiness inside of you. It's a golden yellow. Oh my gosh, it's perfection. Let me show you. Look at this color. Beautiful. So that's what we're gonna use for my pancakes. Yum. Let's do it. They're getting ready. Guys, let's have a quick girl chit chat. Guys, when I married back in 2005, I knew how to cook well, but I was not able to bake or to do anything like that I am now in 2024, obviously almost 20 years later. But I'm so glad that I tried and I failed and I keep trying. So to tell you the truth, my mother-in-law, Joe's mom, was the greatest cook, the greatest baker, the greatest housemaker, the greatest mother and mother-in-law ever, the greatest wife, the greatest Christian. My mom was a great woman, a great mom, a great mom figure, a great cook. Obviously, my mom didn't bake as my mother-in-law did, so I aspired to bake and do stuff in the kitchen and baking like product like my mother-in-law. She taught me a couple things. I didn't have the experience to fully be trained by her because she's in heaven right now, but I aspired every day when she was doing something in the kitchen and was related baking like a pie or a cake or biscuits or buns or whatever or rolls. I always say, I want to bake like you, and she said, well, just learn with me. So yes, I am the good baker that I am and the greatest cook that I am right now due to my mother-in-law and my mom. Both are in heaven, but I know they always try their best to teach me whatever that they knew and whatever they thought I will need in the future. Okay, I'll let you go because look, I can believe it. It was salvage. I saved it. Okay, guys, look at how beautiful these tones and these brownish and golden pancakes we're making. But yeah, so my experience of baking has been progressively getting better and making homemade stuff at home. So I encourage you to do the same. Don't stall. Don't get frustrated when things don't going right, or when things are get burned, or when things are getting scratched in the kitchen, because that's part of the process. Look at how beautiful they are. Definitely want you be the witness when I cut through one and you see how fluffy they are, okay? Look at how fluffy, look at how bouncy back, and look at this. Look at this, my friends. Oh my gosh, I'm salivating in here. But yeah, so my experience of baking has been progressively getting better and making homemade stuff at home. So I encourage you to do the same. Don't stall and don't get frustrated when things don't going right, or when things are get burned, or when things are getting scratched in the kitchen, because that's part of the process. Look at how beautiful they are. Guys, anytime I'm baking and I'll say, oh, I don't know how to do this or that, my husband said, you should have taken advantage when my mom was alive, but she was the best baker in the neighborhood, which I think is the best baker ever in the neighborhood in Kentucky. That's my opinion, and I keep that. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I like honey in mine, and I love it. Yummy. Come on, my little. Yummy.